Hello and welcome to something completely random. It is Car Simulator 2015. I picked this up really cheap, well, Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. I picked it up really cheap on Steam, like a 10 bucks with all DLCs, and I always like playing this type of games, so I was like, you know what, let's buy it. And I've been playing like, I don't know, 5 hours or something by now, and I just like games like this, so I was like, okay, well, just play something stupid and do something random, because I wasn't really in the mood of recording Hearts of Fire. I've been playing a lot of Hearts of Fire lately, and it's kind of like, yeah, something else, and yeah, why the hell not? So we got a nice little car here, which has a list of problems. So it's loud when accelerating, so there's a couple of faulty parts you need to discover yourself. There's a brake problem, so we got 2 brake calipers, brake disc, and brake pads that need to be fixed, so they may be rear or frontal brakes, and there's apparently a pressure plate and a gearbox fault, so looks like there's some damaged parts in there. The rest of it looks fairly pristine, so let's get this thing. That's not your phone, that's just the game. Give me any missions. Let's get this thing on the elevator and lift her up, get to the wheel. It looks like I found one of the broken brake pads. It's the front here, looks fairly damaged. Let's see on the other side, it's the same. This one looks actually pretty good. That looks like crap. So you can just select in the list here. You can highlight what it is, but I would like to just not do that. So this game is very simple. You just remove parts, fix the car, and yeah, that's actually all that there is to it. So a little bit on the loud side, so I'm gonna just lessen that a little bit, and put the music a little bit higher there. Alright, and let's see, this thing is clearly damaged, 22%, that needs to be replaced. The brake pad looks fine though. Yeah, that brake pad is fine, so put that back on. Alright, so there's one caliper here. So I guess I was just checking all 4 wheels. Can't really take a good look at them unless I've got the wheels off it anyway. So these two both are not the problem parts. So let's remove the other rear wheel. Now, this looks like the, come on, highlight it. It's condition unknown. The brake disc needs to be replaced and the brake pads here. So the caliper, oh, this is the caliper, the brake pad and the brake disc, all right. So the other one must be right here. Alright, yeah, caliper is good. Seems that the pad here is completely shoddy and the disc is not too good either. Alright, so we need 2 calipers, 2 discs, and 2 pads. Well, let's replace those first. Well, my repair skills are not that good, so we're gonna just buy new. So we need 2 calipers, 2 regular discs, I believe. And 2 pads. These aren't ventilated, right? No, they're regular discs. Okay. Good. So let's let's just fix that back on. I'm actually gonna keep the wheels off because we're probably need to do some more work. So we'll put the caliper on here. It's a fairly simple game, and I wish fixing your car was as simple as this game is. Because for those that are under the illusion that it is, I've been fixing as a hobby a small motorcycle, which is really fun to do, but it's a lot more complicated than just here, what you're seeing. So I hope it doesn't disappoint a lot of people. However, I wouldn't be surprised a lot of people treat these simulators as gospel. Wait, did I get another? Oh, I might have had one that was already fairly decent condition. Yeah, the brake is fixed. Loud while accelerating, and there's a gearbox issue. With loud while accelerating, well, I can tell you that the 2 middle mufflers that need replacing, and a rear muffler from the Quattroporte. And let's get to the front a little bit further, and then there is the front exhaust pipe. So Let's see what we have here. Well, sorting by condition, please, is a little easier. So 2 middle mufflers and a front exhaust pipe. Let's start with that, because I always forget these things. Muffler, middle mufflers. I can't write exhaust, so we'll just go for pipe. Exhaust pipe, quattroporte, and then there is a V8 front exhaust. There we go. Okay, so is that fixed? And then we still probably need to just take apart the entire gearbox here. It doesn't look like that one is actually doing too great. So, and I happen to know that the drive shaft needs to come off, so we'll remove that one already. I like it. It's a fun game. It's just simulator enough for me to just be able to calm my mind and casual enough to not, go completely crazy. But by now, it's one of these games is you get good at it, right? You start understanding certain basic bits of the game, not the actual car fixing. If you would ask me to fix your car, I will probably not do a very good job of it. Especially not... Oh, wait, I thought I got a rear muffler. Oh, I bought the wrong one. What did I buy? Oh, I bought the exhaust pipe. That's the one, that's part here. I just need a rear muffler, quattroporte. Hope I can search on partials. Actually, never tried. Let's see. There we go. Well, then I have a access. We'll sell that back. Damn, these parts are expensive. Alright, let's get that one back. Okay, that's the exhaust fixed. And then there was a problem with the clutch pressure plate and a gearbox V8. So we'll just buy those already. So we've got a clutch pressure plate, and I hate the fact that you cannot look these parts up somewhere else. Oh, it might be actually, but I don't know how. And the gearbox V8, that was it. I have a terrible memory. Gearbox. That's why you should buy the tablet. But there's so other gearbox V8. There we go. So every 1,000 experience, you get a point you can spend on it. I've got unbolting, a little more repair chance, and I got the OBD scanner. Hopefully this will unlock more types of missions and more self-discovery. Because when you start, a lot of this stuff is already given, like the gearbox problem that we're now fixing. Okay, so we need to remove the starter from here. It does show you how to remove parts, which makes it pretty easy. It shows you in red the part that's blocking the removal, but it doesn't show you the entire chain, which is rather nice, to be honest. So if I were to be here, if I want to remove the engine, it says, oh, you need to remove the parts here, and then it says here, and then here, and then here. So you keep going like that. It's pretty damn easy. Anyway, we need to remove this pressure plate because it's completely wrecked. I don't like that the only way to show damage is like rust. I was hoping, for something slightly more, so we get a new pressure plate on. It looks really nice. Now, I believe there's something like building your own car eventually if you get enough experience, but I'm not there yet. I think I need 9,000 experience for that. Oh, but look at that. There's beautiful, pristine parts. Now, I'm not a car freak at all. I like mechanical stuff, even though I'm not really good at it. But I can appreciate engineering, so to speak. Alright, so we just need to get the wheels on, and yeah, this puppy is ready to send out. It was pretty easy, even though we had to diagnose some problems. I've had cars in which I had to completely strip them down to the most bare bones pieces to get to certain parts, replace them, and then all build them back together. And you need to put it in the right order, because as it looks like right now, you can not F this up. But you can. Sometimes you forget to put in spark plugs, but you put on the caps already because it doesn't force you to put in the spark plugs. Most cars it actually does, but it doesn't go for all of them. So, I don't want to remove. I want to go to building mode. Right, and I believe that's it. Very simple mission. We'll check real quick. Everything seems to be fixed, and yeah, finish the job. Oh, wait, I'm probably should reinsert the drive shaft, actually. Luckily it does say it. It's not like you're trying to, you know, sell the car or give the car back, you know, like, oh, it's missing. It's trying to start it. Nothing is working. My four-wheel drive seems to be completely inoperable. And you're sitting there like, might explain the drive shaft I have laying around here. So I'll finish it. Then we've got some remaining parts. I got some parts here in stock. So what you can do is, let me just sell this real quick. So I got these parts here. I might think, well, where do they come from? Because they're in good condition. Well, these are repaired parts, and I got them by something I always like doing here in this game. It's just stripping a car. Gets you a lot of components, and you can attempt to repair some of it. And save money on parts. But my repair skipping at only 50%. I don't think I'm actually saving money on parts. But it's fun to just dismantle these cars, especially if we've got something that has a bit more of a complex engine. But so far, these have been fairly basic scrap heaps. Fun thing though, they are incomplete. I like the idea that you just get some junker and you buy it for $1,000 and see what you get. Oh, this looks like a fun little thing. I don't think I've actually dismantled a car like this ever, so it does show you what is remaining, but I believe there might be something like a set of building your own cars. It looks like a fairly pristine wheel. This rubber does look fairly pristine. Rear bumper, remove the trunk, we can take the hood. Get a car door. And I can't strip the interior, so that's a bit sad, but yeah, well, let's just keep... Wow, this radiator fan is not even attached to the engine. Must be the shaft that normally drives it, must be missing. So most of these parts are in crap condition, but sometimes you get something that's low, 60%, you get lucky in a repair and you get a 90% piece, which, you know, would allow you to use them on the other cars. So far I've never had that luck, but I've not really been hoarding any parts. Usually just tend to sell everything. This would actually just as a hobby, not as your primary form of work. Just stripping cars seems like a fairly interesting thing to do. Some is scrap iron, other bits are, you know, can be sold as decent quality parts. Just clean them up and yeah, if I had a garage, I would probably do a lot more with old cars and stuff like that, because I really like the design work of old systems. Like the bike I fixed up was a 50cc moped, basically from 1978. So it was almost fully mechanical with fairly little electrics, which is really fun to clean up. This thing had stood still outside for more than a year, I believe. So the engine block was completely with fuel in it. So the engine block was rusted shut, because these things, of course, are open. There's no bonnet or anything like that that keeps the hood, if you're from the US, that prevents you know, rain from anything coming in. So this thing was rusted shut. So the cleaning process was just really awesome to do. I had zero experience beforehand, so it was completely new for me to do anything like it, and I really enjoyed myself. Just learned how to do it. I managed to fix up the entire thing except for one part, which is the clutch or the gearbox, technically. That was mostly due to the fact that that required some special tools, because the bike had a special old engine, which required some specialist tools to fix the gearbox. So that's something I actually had to do, let somebody do. I had the tools, the experience, and also, you know, doing clutch plates and stuff like that is slightly more difficult than just, you know, cleaning them up, because these things need to be lined out and, you know, offset properly, all that kind of stuff, and I don't know how to do that. But yeah, if I ever get a garage again, I will definitely pick stuff like this up, because it's just fun to tinker with something that is just mechanically functional. The downside of, you know, the electrical age and everything being done by, you know, electricity is that it's for me a lot more difficult to see in one swoop what's going on, what's connected to what is driving on what. And with, you know, solid mechanical parts, it's a lot easier to see how, you know, things are being built and what the basic functionality of stuff is. Because while electrics are incredibly interesting, it is just a lot more difficult to initially see how things are working, even though the core functionality might not have changed like at all. But just because now it's done with electrics, it's a lot more difficult to discern what something is doing and, you know, how and that kind of stuff. All right. Crankshaft caps off. And I think that's the only one that's left. No. Oh wait, we still need to get the drive shaft out. Yeah, I would really love to, at some point in my life, be able to do this. You know, buy a car elevator and just get an old car, start fixing her. Repairing parts, perhaps CC, letting, you know, they get some parts custom made, if that's necessary. This engine block is completely rusted to shit, so I don't think I'm gonna get any useful parts out of it. Clutch plate is, nah, it's junk. Alright, that's the crankshaft, which is recoverable apparently. Alright. Okay, let's get the final bits and bobs here in the back plates, and then we'll repair everything and see what we got left. I don't believe this gives you any experience, it kind of sucks, so for the experience it's not something you need to do. I think you're gonna just fix cars for that one. Alright, need to get these unbolted, and I remove the spring plates, then I can remove the arms, get these spring caps from here. Alright, spring plate, the control arm, and then there's just the brake calipers here. I just like the idea of this game. It's easy. This is like, for people, some people just like to meditate stuff. I like doing this. This is easing my brain down. Logical thought processes. I also really like playing Truck Simulator for that reason. Euro Truck or American Truck Simulator. Because it eases the brain, in my opinion. There's not much you need to think now. There's no real, like a large amount of incredibly deep thought that needs to happen at all times. So I've got 2 parts that need to be found. That's probably rear lights. Yeah. Alright, there we go. 0 parts left. This wasn't a good haul. Looking at the money earned, spent 1,000. So 2,500 worth in here. Can we? No, damn it. Anyway, yeah, return to the garage and see what we have. I think most of this crap. So we probably could scrap all of it. I don't know. We'll see. Get a list overview. Yeah, but these games are like meditation for me, and I'm still kind of reeling from the schoolwork. Became really stressful at the end, and I was working way too much. So I'm kind of just recovering from that, and I still haven't got my grades. Oh, this is a bad haul. Yeah, let's just sell all the recovered parts. Make some money, but wasn't worth it. This one wasn't. Let's see. Repair all running gear faults. Lists cars hard to control. Nothing noise in the engine bay. I'll take this one. I'll do 1 or 2 more and then I'll cut the video. This is just a single video, just to show you that I'm alive and that there is content and yeah, more content. Let's see, cars hard to control. That's probably the let's see, yeah, there you go. Inner tie rod 1 and oh, it's just here. So, oh, and the suspension is bricked. Okay, what else is there wrong with this car? So rubber bushing, spring cap, rear spring, inner tie rod, front shock absorber. Alright, we'll get you on the bridge. Do I have any of those parts? No, I got a spring cap, steering knuckle, suspension arms. Nope. Alright. Well, let's start this assembly, I guess. And this might be really repetitive for some people. It's like, there's no challenge. There's no... No, there is. There's just subtle bits. And just trying to figure out what's wrong with things. And I got some of the inner tie rods removed. It's like how things click together, that kind of stuff. So this one needs to go out. Oh wait, first need to remove the wheel as always. I just keep forgetting that I can't just, you know, magically get to a part. Alright, remove this one. It's like how it shows you that there's a lot more interconnectedness between parts, and it's not just a simple way of... You can just remove the part in one go, which you want. Do we have fixed or found the actual... There's one more part here. The outer tie rod is what we have discovered, but there's one more part. Is the other side as well busted? Doesn't look like it, no. Huh. Might want to take a bit of a deeper look. Most of this looks good, actually. I have no way to examine stuff without taking it apart. That's actually the next thing I want to get if I get to 4,000 experience. Need to fix it out. I don't think 5 or 6 cars before I can do that. Alright, so rear spring. And I can see a rear suspension arm B. It's completely wrecked. So let's get that one. Get the shock absorber out. Okay. And there was a bushing. Yep. So that's the bushing out. The wheel needs to go off here. Oh wait, I think I've actually got one of these spring caps in decent condition. So that saves me buying a part. So that allows me to get some profit. Another rubber bushing. These are never repairable, sadly enough. And that's number 3, and then there's that one that's number 4. I think I got all parts from the first list removed. Front shock absorber, yep. Got the inner tie rod, rear shock absorber A and B. Spring got the bushings and the spring cap. And sway bar rear end link. So I found all the parts. So now it's just a question of replacing stuff that we have. Do I have a spring cap? Yes, I have a good 100% condition spring cap. Nice. So I need 4 rubber bushings. Okay. 4 rubber bushings and a rear suspension arm B. But can I repair any of these parts? I repair the spring cap. Managed to get them to 79. That's pretty good. See, that's why I want to repair skill higher eventually, so I can repair parts instead of just always needing to buy new ones. Rubber with 1 U. That's 4 of them. Yeah, it's gonna be annoying. I've got a lot of walking again. Rear spring, rear shock absorber A, and rear. Okay, just search for rear. Alright, rear. Enter doesn't work. Rear spring. Rear suspension arm B and a rear shock absorber. We've got that one. No. Crap. Shock absorber A. I just bought the suspension arm E, right? B, yeah. So rear shock absorber, front shock absorber, so it should show, and an inner tie rod. Tie, inner tie rod, shock absorber. So a front shock absorber and a rear shock absorber B. And then there's the other crap that we discovered. We need a outer tie rod and a sway bar rear end link. Okay. Sway bar rear end link, and a tie. And an outer tie rod. There we go. Alright, that should all be the parts that we needed. Let's reassemble this baby and send her on her way. Alright, get the spring on. Shock absorber cap. And the rear sway bar linky thing. Bolted on. I got a rear shock absorber. Oh, fuck, I bought the wrong one. I bought a B, I needed an A. Crap. I got some money left. Probably need some A's at some point anyway. There we go. Like, what's the big difference between these two? Yeah. Well, let's not just, you know, do a shoddy work job of it. You could probably set a different shock absorber in there, but it, I don't think the game wants to recommend, you know, doing stuff like that. Like, right, that's one rubber bushing. Alright, 2 rubber bushings. I believe these are what fits the chassis to the system being the back of the chassis. But I wouldn't even know that for sure. But I think that's how it works. Now normally you should actually just number your tires to ensure that you're putting the tires in the same spot. You cannot just rotating tires is like a bad idea. Like, at least according to my mechanic, you know. Certain garages recommend it, but my mechanic, which I've been using for years now, was like, yeah, you could do it, but it's actually not a good idea because back tires and front tires have different ways of degrading. So you should just replace them once they need to go instead of rotating them all the time, because it doesn't really lengthen the tires that much. And probably not a good idea. So I was like, okay, you're the expert. You haven't steered me wrong so far. This is probably one of those subjects where there's a lot of opinion of people that can that say, like, some people say, like, yeah, you should, because I've always heard people say, yeah, you should just rotate your tires front to back. That's what I mean with rotating. It's not, you know, like rotating on the fucking axle. It means that you move your tires, the front tires to the back tires to the front, because they degrade at different speeds. Now I have parts left, I think. But this is all mine, I think. Wait, do I have a wheel left? Yeah, I've got a wheel left. Put this bit back on. And there it is. There's the wheel. I think that should be it. Yeah. There we go. Let's sell the junk, which we could not repair. Pretty good haul. All right, we're got a lot of experience. Got well, at least got a lot of cash. We could do a lot of stuff. You know, it wasn't for the fact that I can't spend it on anything. I did buy this one, but I think the paint shop's next on 5,000. And then there is the parking spot on 9,000, which probably is, that's the one that gives me access to building my own cars, which is something I'm really looking forward to. And let's see, there is just the auction center, the old factory test track, and the drag strip. This is all for, I think, for your own cars, because I can't access it. Like, about a car park, this doesn't even show me anything when they select the cars which we don't have. So yeah. It's a fairly simple game in premise, got a lot of depth in just trying to figure stuff out, because sometimes you get cars which is just, shit's gone wrong, and you're like, okay, well what? And you get nothing of a tip. You figure it out yourself, which is pretty fun. And yeah. I like it. I don't know if I'll do more, I just needed to do a video, and I didn't want to do more Hearts of Iron, and yeah, perhaps I'll do more, perhaps I won't, who knows. But with that, I want to thank you guys for watching, see you guys next time, bye bye.